realize to understand the movement of thought, you need a tool which is more sukshmataram. Thought itself is sukshma, that's where the trouble is. Thought is very subtle. It is already a major milestone when a human being, you and me, is able to pay some attention to thought. Generally our attention is on external things. Even I have made the mistake many times, I don't mind confessing. Even after studying a lot of Vedanta and being a respected Vedanta teacher, there were times when my mind was a bit tamasic. The play of gunas doesn't spare anybody. Once I attended a talk on Valmiki Ramayana by a professor of University of California, Berkeley, and he stood there in a conference. It was a Gita conference, if I remember right. But he spoke on Valmiki Ramayana because Professor Robert Goldman, even today, he is an authority on Valmiki Ramayana. He spoke. And that day maybe I had too heavy breakfast and earlier night I had slept less. Sometimes these are the factors. I was in the audience because I too was a speaker later on in another session. And half an hour I was just looking at his dress and his general personality. Nothing that he spoke went in to me, I regret even now when I look back at it. And later on somebody asked, who was Goldman's talk? Okay, I wish he had read out, he read lots of shlokas from the Ramayana. I wish he had read less and spoken more, some comment I made. Then I found many other scholars were so impressed by Professor Goldman's talk. Then I reflected, today I was not attentive. He did a good job, but I was not attentive. So it could happen to any of us. So generally our attention is what kind of dress he wore, how he stood, and how the organizers received him, respected him, cared, 100 other things. What he spoke went above my head. The only time I heard J. Krishnamurti, that time I didn't have enough philosophical abilities. Everything went above my head. Only time I heard 1981 January in Chennai. I heard a whole talk by him, but nothing went in, everything went out. It was after 10 more years or even more that I was startled. This is pure Upanishadic wisdom. This came to me much later. Okay. So generally I said it's a major milestone in human life. A major milestone if without losing your ability to pay attention to external things, don't lose that please. Don't be like that absent-minded professor who wore the best coat to a party, but everybody was laughing because he forgot to wear anything below. Absent-minded professor jokes are there. For a while he didn't understand, why are they laughing? I am wearing the best coat. My wife told me, who went out of town, that evening you are going for that party, wear this coat. And I remembered, I wore that coat. But below he was only in his underwears. So when we say, sharpen your ability to look at inner things, notice your anger, notice your desire, pay attention to the way anger arises, pay attention to the way a sense of I am not okay builds up in you. This is a subtle demand. In no way I mean don't pay attention to external things. All we mean is don't be limited or don't be so preoccupied with external things. When I heard Robert Goldman in that conference, suppose quickly 1 or 2 minutes I saw what dress he wore, how he walked to the podium, how he took the mic, and quickly if I noticed a few other things that the organizers, how they introduced him, and then that's it. Then I am all attention to what he is saying about Valmiki Ramayana. And is he doing justice? Is he coming across as having some bias? pro-India or anti-India or there are various biases in scholarship too. That's what, not that you become blind to the grosser things. Grosser things are much needed in life, but don't be limited. So, pay attention to thought. Sanat Kumara in Chandogya, Sanat Kumara is the teacher. He guides Narada to radical change. Narada was so frustrated with himself. So much of knowledge I have, and yet I am not happy. And then, of course, in a very graded manner, I will not go into all the details, but in the 7th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, Sanat Kumara brings Narada to a point where he says, it is not such knowledge of subjects, it is not thinking of oneself as the knower of this or knower of that, possessor of this or possessor of that. Generally you and I look at ourselves that way. Because in the world we need that profile. I have a degree from that institute. I have a qualification from that famous college. And look at this certificate. Look at this. That's how you and I deal with world's scenarios. You need it. Of course you need it in its place. But as regards conquering or overcoming sorrow, tarati shokam atmavit, you need a different approach. It's a different ball game. And what is it? Towards the end of that very wonderful dialogue, Sanat Kumara says, in you, Narada, listen carefully, he says, in you there is a state of consciousness, a state of being. You are capable of being in a state, and then a little mystical language is used. Yatra nanyat kinchana pashyati, yatra nanyat kinchana shrinoti, yatra nanyat kinchana jighrati. A list of a bunch of statements where you don't hear anything else, where you don't see anything else, where you don't know anything else, where you don't conceive of anything else. Once more, if you read it hastily, like somebody joked, you would say, you Mumbaikars would say, Namaste, Namaste, hum nahi samajhte. For what is this? Not knowing anything else, not seeing anything else. What is this blah blah? Therefore you need some guidance in Upanishadic study. What is meant is, in the ordinary state of consciousness, because of the working of thought, working of memories, because of the working of certain conditioning, certain past influences, because of the working of certain impressions to which you have sort of yielded, you have subscribed, you have bought into them. In no time, in ordinary thinking, you look at yourself as the seer and that something as the seen. Yourself as the hearer and that something as the heard. The subject-object division is formed not by virtue of what is by itself, but by your thought process. Somebody comes in a beautiful car. You appreciate the car. Before you realize what is happening, you say, his car is so much better than my car. So this his car and my car. His family, my family. Look at how her daughter is performing, and this one at my home. Or the other way around. My daughter is a high-performing angel, and all these people, their sons and daughters, they have not come even halfway as much as my daughter. So this they and me, Sanat Kumara is hitting at the mischief of thought which is dividing they and me, others and oneself, in a very fundamental level, that is what Shankara calls an error. In Vyavahara, that is transactional level, of course, you can't say, after hearing Swami Chidananda's talk, I know no more distinguish his car, my car. So other day somebody came in a nice car, keys were there only, I just drove off. And when they caught me later on, hey, why did you do this? I said, I am a very spiritual person. What, your car, my car, these are all for the unspiritual people. That won't work. Vyavahara requires a sense of order, sense of propriety. Therefore, without going much into it, let me use a pair of technical words. There is a functional working of the mind, and then there is a psychological working of the mind. Though I will not go into much details, I must briefly make it clear what is meant by this undesirable psychological working. Functional working is desirable. Psychological working is a process, thought process, which revolves around ego, which revolves around a sense of high and low, which revolves around not only just basic high and low, but ideas of high and low which get as though frozen, which as though on one hand get frozen, and on the other ideas of high and low which sort of extend beyond domains of relevance. Like you and I are playing tennis, let us say, and you play much better, and I realize, he is far superior. I am no match for him. Right? Fine. That is okay. And another day, somewhere else we are meeting. Both of us are sitting and watching a music or hearing a music concert. And there also we are sitting together, somebody is singing, and if I say, actually I should not be sitting with him. I am no match for him. The way he played tennis other day. Now his superiority in tennis over me has no relevance to listening to music together. Right? Suppose here too, he knows the in and out of classical music. I am a novice. I actually cannot distinguish between Hindustani and Carnatic. And then suppose I feel I am sitting with him in the front row because somehow I got passes. We both got passes and we are in front row. Suppose there you feel a bit low. You don't have to feel low, but suppose you sense that difference. Understandable. Psychological movement is to carry notions of being low or being high way beyond the context, way beyond the domain of relevance. Right? More money has its place. Nobody can deny the value of money. But you extend it everywhere, anywhere. Years ago I saw the movie Titanic. And at the end there was an interesting scene. The whole Titanic is almost sunk, the little remains, and life-saving boats have come, and some valiant, heroic captain of the ship who perhaps sacrifices his own life, I think, if I remember right, because he helps everybody. He could have jumped into a lifeboat and fled, but he is a man of great values. I will ensure that all others first save and then I will get in. So he pleads with some passengers, come on, get down, get into the lifeboat. And there is a scene, if you see Titanic again, look at the last portion. One lady or one gentleman, he is about to get into the lifeboat, but then he sees some poor people are sitting there. On the ship also there are rich people, there are middle class, there are some cabins or not even cabins, some open space, like some dormitory-like thing where there are poor people. So already some 10 poor people have taken seats. it's a life and death situation. That time also this rich person says to the captain says, get in. You mean we have to sit with them? Yeah. You mean we have to sit with them? Isn't there another boat which is meant for the royal or the elite or the rich? So light on, that's how movies, not only entertainment, pretty much all the movies have some educative value. So that is called psychological movement. If that person, however rich, however educated, however special he or she may be, was in a functional mode of operation, the captain says, get in, thank you so much, jumps into the boat. Who is sitting to the left or right, even if that person's clothes are bad, foul smelling, who cares? That is functional. Psychological is to stretch our, whose grandson I am and which company I work for, etc., out of bounds. So, what is Sanat Kumara's reply? Yatra nanyat kinchana pashyati. In matters or in contexts where a certain evaluation of others and us has no bearing, has no relevance, then your mind is silent with respect to it. Then, though literally it is called, you don't see another, you don't hear another, you don't touch another. What it implies is, you do not have a sense of separation in the form of high and low, in the form of worthy and unworthy, in the form of sinner and merited. When people were trying to stone a woman to death in a biblical story, Jesus comes there and says, what is happening? And when they say, this is a sinner, this woman has sinned, therefore our practice is like that in this village, we are going to stone her to death. Christ says to them, okay, I understand, but may I make a request? They say, yes, what is it? And Christ says to them, let that man throw the first stone who has himself not sinned. All of them look within. All of them realize that we labeled this woman as a sinner, and we were basking in the glory of looking at ourselves as dharmic, meritorious people, but actually we have also sinned. And some of them might be even now sinful, not even an old story. Known to the town or sometimes unknown to the town, they might be in immoral activities even now. And of course, because of the presence and the divine vibrations of Jesus Christ, the impact was unbelievable. One by one, the stone in everybody's hands fell down. They quietly walked away from that place. Sanat Kumara spoke of that state of consciousness as Christ had at that moment. Nisargadatta in your own Mumbai, Maharshi Ramana sitting in Tiruvannamalai, or Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar, all these people have a state of consciousness where they notice he is rich, he is not rich, he is a professor in Mumbai University, she has tried to pass 10th standard 3 times but not succeeded so far. They know. But those things don't, carry them away. In spite of stark differences between people, they are able to see those visitors on par with themselves. I am Satchit Ananda, I am pure consciousness. This lady whom people are calling sinner is also essentially the same pure consciousness. Satchit, no difference. Of course, she doesn't know as yet. Therefore, certain things are quote and unquote going wrong. But otherwise, essentially, she is the same radiant self, Atma, as I am. That is the recollection. So when you, out of a silent mind which has wriggled out, which has moved out from the psychological operation, which is totally anchored in functional operation, when you have that state of consciousness, though outwardly the person over there is other, inwardly there is no other. You have a sense of, we are all one. He doesn't know, I know. She doesn't know, I know. Whether he or she knows or not, he or she is same as me. So when we are all the same, when we are all this same truth as conveyed by the Upanishads, as the Advaita Vedanta proclaims it, then look at the statement of Sanat Kumara now. Are you seeing anybody other? Anyat. Anyat means other. You don't see any other. Functionally, yes. By my taking 2 rotis, your hunger will not be fulfilled. Though there are some siddhis, that is different. You may say, there was a saint, when he ate, everybody's hunger went away. Those siddhis are a different topic. There are some miraculous powers. They are not, by the way, they are not part of this radical change. They are very fascinating. Sometimes such powers, if somebody has, are used to attract people for the higher wisdom. It is just an attraction. I have heard that someone once asked Satya Sai Baba, why do you do all these miracles? And Satya Sai Baba, though known generally as a miracle man, had of course the highest wisdom. He said smilingly, my miracles are like candies with which I attract children. Then the job begins. Then the work begins, he said. Some of you may admire Satya Sai, some of you may have reservations. Let's not drag to any personal opinion about any Mahatma, But then that, you eat and others' hunger is gone. You have in Sri Krishna story, right? Sri Krishna takes 1 grain of food from the pot that Draupadi had, and Durvasa and 40 of his disciples feel so full, they quietly disappear. A while ago they were demanding, feed us. And Draupadi was helpless, how to handle the situation. Then Krishna comes and just takes a small grain and, what do you call it? He belches. And instantly all of them feel full, who are angry while ago, they will leave. So those are siddhis. Lord Krishna, Purushottama, had all the siddhis, all the powers. But that is not self-knowledge. This consciousness, this radical change is when the notion of other, let the other person be scheduled caste or Brahmin, let the other person be African or Indian, let the other person be Hindu or Muslim, no matter what those external differences are, you go about it functionally. People are not literally equal, but on certain functional levels there are differences. Suppose my daughter loves music and language and this and that, and then somehow she has got very attracted to somebody who has no interest in any of those. Then if I say, it's not that he is Christian or Muslim or some other thing, but I find that I tell my daughter, Dekho, ab to you are very attracted, you seem to be very happy, but what I notice is he has no interest in what interests you. So down the road, are you sure? I have no objection to his being of some caste or community. Then you are functional. You don't misuse Vedanta saying, oh my dear, you have fallen in love with him. Actually, you know what, after studying Vedanta, nothing matters because all are one. So any man is okay. That is not Vedanta, that is stupidity. Because there is certain functional wisdom, there is common sense. Vedanta is not to rob us of our common sense. Vedanta helps us steer clear of, these two categories. We see what is relevant, but we clearly notice what is man-made, what is self-created, and that is removed. Then there is no otherness. The whole town may say, don't agree, protest, oppose your daughter wanting to marry that guy. But if you are anchored in this pure consciousness, say that community is not an issue for me, but I am examining various other details. Accordingly, I would give my advice, then it is her choice. I don't encroach upon her freedom either. So this is mature thinking. Vedanta facilitates mature thinking. Vedanta is not to take you away to some conceptual dreamland where you imagine things. Where you go to from one extreme of worldly confusions, you go to another extreme of so-called spiritual confusions. That should not happen. So summarily, friends, I perhaps have touched upon much of it. Maybe one point remains a little bit. Summarily, radical change is to dig deeper. Radical change happens when, though we are very tempted to remain content and comfortable with some externalities, with just a label that I am a member of that ashram, I am very close to that guru actually. Other day, that guru came and had breakfast and appreciated and said, why not I stay till lunch also? I am very close to him. Very good. If you are close to some guru and the guru wanted to stay more and more at your home, बहुत अच्छी बात है. Functionally it is fine. But by that, you don't get free. Inner freedom is not a matter of all those externalities. What is this digging deep? We have labored in this talk to show that digging deep is to notice thought, notice the divisions that thought creates, notice the prejudice that thought hosts. Thought is a host for prejudice. And notice the falsity of our pride or of our anguish, of our anxiety. Somebody became something I did not become. Somebody became famous and I did not. I had a friend who was crying other day. You know how rich that other fellow has become? I said, why are you worried? Problem is, he and I were classmates in high school and I used to teach him maths. Math, not just maths or biology, for everything he used to come and he was so stupid. I used to tell him what is Pythagoras theorem. And today he is a millionaire and I have, such difficulties. Isn't it a very unjust and unfair world? So we ask him, first of all, why do you compare? And secondly, why do you imagine that because he is so rich, he is happy? You may not be so rich, but probably examine. Perhaps you are happy, you have many other blessings, many other gifts. So again I went into an example. Radical change can take place when habitual thought says, you have failed, you have made such a mess of your life, look at him. Question it, attend to it, look at it, and with the help of Upanishadic study or whatever, it doesn't have to be Upanishads. There is always spiritual inputs that come to you from various sources. It may be from Zen Buddhism, it may be from Sufi, creations, it may be from Jalaluddin Rumi, or it may be it could be a management guru like Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Some passage over there might inspire you. Please don't imagine that ultimately Swamiji is selling Upanishads in a nice way today. So very soon he will say, join the Sanskrit class. Then he will say, learn chanting. None of those. If you are doing, very good. But if you have found inspiration in Thich Nhat Hanh, there is a Buddhist teacher. I am not a person to say, you are a Hindu and you are going after Thich Nhat Hanh. Stop it. come to some Swamiji's class. No, that is unspiritual. In whatever way you derive inspiration, it should be deep. So assisted and facilitated by your deeper studies, you graduate from rituals and the externalities to awareness of thought, then there is a radical change in you. It happens, it will happen. Rest of it will happen. One by one, certain false constructs of your mind fall away. And you find so much lighter. And the point I missed, I don't have to go much into it, is superficial spirituality does more harm than good, it was written. I didn't dwell much on the so-called harm, but to be very brief to cover it is, on one hand you know how much of bloodshed world over there is in the name of religion. Leave the international scenario, even personally also, even internally also. Internally, not in contrast or in relation to anybody else. Within yourself, if you have remained superficial, it actually, whether you know it or not, it does harm. For rather than opening the reserves of love and cheerfulness in you, the superficial spirituality would make you always fret and fume about small things. It will make you actually spoil your relationships. It will make you get into a hole. It will make you live in isolation. It will create big generation gap between you and your children or grandchildren and others. Superficial spirituality will create some kind of a shell in which you will be sitting, imagining that you are a very spiritual person. It is not only no use, it is harm in that sense. Therefore, let me pause here, leaving some time for questions and answers. I have rambled through the topic, but I guess I have covered the essential pointers to what is radical change and what could be the way to such radical change. Harihi Om Namah Shivaya. Yeah. Questions are welcome. Maybe we can spend some 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Correct. I have focused on Gyan, you are right.
So, a lot of people tell us that in these days, bhakti is a path which one needs to follow, a simpler path, and you're not just one subject. So, for a man who is devoid of bhakti bhav, what do you suggest to help that person? Because it doesn't come naturally. Bhakti bhav is something that is inside, and a person who's, let's say, unable to go and create that bhakti bhav in himself, but is happy to follow the Gyan path. I mean, read and hear and follow what you're saying. What is the way out? Because there's no bhakti.
Oh, so the question is not whether one should go for bhakti. The question is, one is trying to go for bhakti, but it's not coming naturally. So what is one to do? Yeah. There are two things here. One is, everybody, just because it is said and it is true that these days bhakti is easier, what it means is for majority of people bhakti is better, bhakti suits. And just because it is said, one need not jump to the conclusion, I better go for bhakti, because you could be the minority. I regard myself as the minority in today's world. Though I have bhakti part of it, and my main sadhana is jnana. I fully agree because none else or none lesser than Sri Ramakrishna said it. In Kali Yuga, where you and I have, creature comforts are so necessary. In modern times, we cannot stay hungry for long, we cannot remain thirsty for long. Many of us cannot, even attend a spiritual program if there is no right temperature and such things. We say, I can't go there, Baba. Bhaiya, ये कहाँ हो रहा है? नहीं, I can't. Because modern times are like that. So, Sri Ramakrishna said, Bhakti is best and we adore him. However, the right interpretation, right meaning of that statement is for the overwhelming majority, and you and I or he or she could be in the minority. Therefore, if one is unable to, that is the first aspect, one is unable to really get going with bhakti, one may say, well, while I respect that statement, I don't belong there. I am in Jnana Marga only. I may be 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, but I am like that. So get going in Jnana. Secondly, your or anybody's inability to really get going in bhakti could be because you didn't get the proper exposure. As it happens in the study of any subject, all of us have gone to school, college, everything. In many subjects, sometimes we find we would be struggling with some wrong book where everything is expressed in a complicated way. Then one fine day in the library or one fine day a teacher says, that is nicely explained in such and such book. And you pick it up. You say, that right book makes it so easy. The right diagrams, the right way of thought development. Some authors have a gift, In fact, when I was a teacher at a college many years ago, I was trying to teach a subject, and then as it is very interesting, as luck would have it, I came upon a book by Adam Osborne. And who is Adam Osborne? He is the son of Arthur Osborne, the editor of Mountain Path, first editor of Mountain Path of Ramanashram. Adam Osborne. I said, Osborne, this sounds like the Ramana devotee. And he was Ramana devotee's son. And later on he died in Ramanashram. So there was a series of books by Adam Osborne on a certain technical subject which I was teaching. It was such a joy. I had not studied it when I went to college. But when I was a teacher at a college in Bangalore, Adam Osborne's books with the drawings, with the explanations, with the thought flow, it was a delight to study, and next day go and talk to the students and explain, how microprocessors works, etc. So that's an analogy. Bhakti, you perhaps have not come across the right material, right person, that what you call it in physics, resonance. I once went to Mata Amritanandamayi Satsang. Just like that I went, because you would laugh. I was conducting some classes, and one day the students of my class said, this Wednesday, so please drop the class, we may not be coming. I felt threatened. My God, why are you not coming? We are all going to have darshan of Ammachi, Mata Amritanandamayi, that hugging lady. And then, I said, oh really? If you want, you can come, they said. I said, then I will also come. I went. And we went, and as I said, it was not my initiative, because my students were boycotting my class. I joined them. And she came on the stage, and then she started singing some songs and raising hands and so on. I don't know what happened. I have very few times cried publicly in life. Don't ask me, how many times have you cried privately? Not allowed. Question not allowed. Publicly I cried, and I was breaking down as she was singing. I met her finally another 2 times and so on. Though I am not in touch with her, I have tremendous regard for her. Resonance took place, unplanned, Maybe I was resisting. I am not going to, What will people think? I was in orange robes with a Rudraksha mala and bindi and everything that time. and I'm crying. She is just singing some bhajan. So that happens. So it could be this. One is you are not made for it, there's nothing wrong about it. Second is you haven't come across the right source, maybe material, maybe the person, somewhere. When it happens, you find you rediscover or you discover the devotee in you. By and large, all of us have a jnani and a bhakta in us. Different ratios. Nobody, I would imagine, here is 100% jnana marg, everybody. So just keep trying once in a while, but peacefully get going on the path which is appealing to you. Don't worry about somebody throwing a comment at you. Don't do this, you won't reach anywhere, come with me. People always try to put pressure on others. Yes, there's a mic.
How do you develop or enhance awareness of
Can you hold the mic a little far maybe? Because
how do one enhance or develop awareness of
wonderful. Yeah, that's the crux of the matter. How do we enhance our awareness of thought? The good news is, from a Vedantic perspective, the good news is your nature is actually awareness. Right? Your nature is awareness. You don't have to borrow awareness from anybody. You don't have to say, can you give me a little credit of awareness, return it later. Like these days you can. Everybody's nature is awareness, and awareness of thought somehow doesn't happen because thoughts have a certain mechanical movement. Thoughts have been flowing in us, and thoughts support thoughts. Thoughts are a kind of self-supporting mechanism. It becomes a mighty challenge. So to enhance our awareness, you need a multi-pronged approach. A little study of literature on awareness, because many a time we have some kind of limited understanding of what awareness is. So when you are studying any literature, Ramakrishna or Ramana, Chinmaya or Nisargadatta, Eckhart Tolle or anybody, anyone. When you read, mark those passages where there is some insight given to the nature of awareness. Mark those passages where there is some valuable comment made by the author, right? Or even some recordings like this, talks and so on, where something is said about awareness. Because to be very clear about what it is to be aware is integral to this enhancing of awareness. For example, if you say, like what? I would make a statement. Awareness is not an exercise of will. Awareness is more an exercise of intelligence. This is a statement. If you reflect upon it, the quality of your awareness will increase. If you have missed out such an important pointer, then you may be trying to be aware, and it can be a frustrating experience. This trying is exercise of will. There is something high on the, at your home, you are trying to pull it, bring it down, you cannot, you put a ladder, and then you stretch. This is all you are extending, you are trying. There is an exercise of will. You want to get up earlier than usual, this is exercise of will. Morning when you get up, you feel, oh no, but you say, मुझको उठना ही है आज, I have to get up, will. Whereas awareness is not exercise of will, it is exercise of intelligence. That means rather than, not that you totally dispose of will, but primarily you need to, what's happening in my mind? Like a child wondering about, a child looks at a butterfly and gets excited. How is this butterfly flying? Like that, as anger rises, or as boredom rises, or one fine Sunday morning, everything's so beautiful, but let's say one of us feels a little low. What? Like that. you have a chance for exercise of intelligence. Just say, okay, I am feeling low, but let me see what is this feeling low. Like butterfly, watching a butterfly. What actually is this feeling low? Therefore, Krishnamurti said once, of course his statements are sometimes a bit hard to follow. When he was asked, he said, there is no other way to enhance attention. Attention is the way to attention, he said. That is like a Mahavakya. Because he tries to be totally precise, it is true. But then a statement which may not make much sense to many people may feel helpless. There is no way. Attention is the way to attention. Namaste, namaste, hum nahi samaste. So, maybe you got this, but if somebody didn't get it, let's say, primarily, it is not at all an exercise of will. It is through a certain wondering, when Newton saw, the apple falling. If he had gone by some book, what did that book say when an apple falls, what are we supposed to do? That is duplicate. That is going by a rule. Whereas Newton saw it and just started wondering. Like childlike curiosity. Of course, he was equipped with maths and other tools, therefore he arrived at a wonderful law of gravity. Likewise, awareness can be enhanced by, let me put it a little concrete way now for ease. Grab opportunities here and there, not everywhere. I wouldn't make too tall a demand from you. Here and there, when you have an opportunity to understand yourself, grab that opportunity. Here and there you have, like one day you are sitting and suddenly you feel so annoyed at the behavior of somebody, that memory comes. That man again behaved in such a nasty way, you are grinding your teeth. And then you say, no, I should not think, it's not good. You feel like grabbing a newspaper. You feel like turning the television on. What I mean by grab an opportunity to watch thought is, don't turn the TV on, don't pick up the magazine, just sit down, wait a minute. More than labeling this as good or bad, let me see what is this annoyance. Let me see what is this, it keeps hurting me many times. I suddenly get into a rage. Let me not label myself as bad or good. So the moment you get into labeling, that you are into the will domain. Don't label. Intelligence. What is intelligence? Trying to understand. So locate yourself, position yourself in the operation understanding. Whereas pick up a newspaper and say, this is a bad thought. He is after all my own uncle. I should not think bad about him. The should and should not, etc. is the domain of will. Then your awareness will not grow. For your awareness to grow, walk away from should and should not. Walk away from a habitual picking up of newspaper or turning TV on. Walk away from labeling and then say, yeah, there is this annoyance about the way my uncle behaved yesterday. Then you can slowly see that it is not just his behavior. There is another uncle, even if he behaves twice as much nastily as this uncle, I don't mind. I have an attachment to that other uncle. Even if he throws a rotten egg at me, I would say, that was good aim. Target hit, Whereas this uncle does even a little, I get annoyed. So I am explaining actually you don't go so much into verbalization, you just notice. Then you see that with respect to this particular uncle who annoyed you so much, your mind carries a certain old hurt or a certain prejudice. It could be very silly sometimes. We might be double PhD and yet we may not like people with long nose. Such is the contradictions in human life. Very qualified, But we have a prejudice against people with long nose or squint eye or some body language, some movement, or it's a memory of a hurt, memory of something, which also is, I had not digested it properly. What happened was not the main reason. So, sorry, I'm again going elaborate. When you have an opportunity to look at some disturbance in the mind, suspend other operations and watch your mind. Then your awareness, because it's a skill, God-given skill, natural skill, you have it with you, but you haven't been using it. These are the chances. Oh yes, Purna. Mic is coming.
This is regarding this statement you made about J. Krishnamurti Swamiji. The man's sorrow is because he wants to become. Now, the word become is, we're transforming ourselves, I think, decade by decade or year by year without our knowing.
Correct.
It's a subtle process which we may not be aware of also.
Correct.
And what I was at 20, I'm not at 74 now.
Yeah.
And so I have become something else.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly does he mean by this word become? Because when we think of our human body, which of course ages, but the mind itself has become something else, a totally different human being.
Correct.
From what we were to the first decade to second decade and so on and so forth.
Correct.
So maybe experiences is what makes us become, or what is it that makes us become?
When Krishnamurti says man's sorrow is in wanting to become, the word or the words to become is purely in the psychological field. And what it means is, it's not about becoming doctor or not becoming doctor, becoming a merchant or not, none of those. There is no problem with that. If somebody's son wants to become a lawyer, we are not to say, that leads you to sorrow. After all, everybody has to pursue some career. So what is meant by psychological is, you attach a certain value, certain self-worth to some particular positions. That needs to be re-examined. If somebody wants to become a lawyer, fine. You ask, suppose I am father, I ask my daughter, why do you want to become a lawyer? She says, lawyers, lawyers are the real people, all others are. We question that judgmentalism. We question. So becoming is not external becoming. External, whether you try or not try, you will become something. Like you get old whether we want or do not want. So, but the tag we attach. I met once a lady who very much wanted to become a sannyasini. She was taking care of some sannyasis, swamis, including me, and she said, I respect all of you and one day I hope I will become a sannyasini. So we said, why? To be in orange robes that's my dream. I won't mention her name. Eventually she did become. And Swami Chidananda gave her sannyas. And now perhaps she is no more, an old lady. I can imagine that day she must have felt, that was her dream. So, nothing wrong with becoming sannyasis, nothing wrong with marrying, but suppose we have some kind of notion, marriage means bondage. That is one foolish conclusion. Orange robes, you are very close to Vishnu. That is another. So this judgmentalism, that is becoming. So basically what he meant is, don't be trapped in judgmentalism. Don't be carried away by external appearances. Okay, Shahid?
Control of mind seems to be the center
Yeah.
of everything that I heard before also. My question is, when a mind gets Nobel Prize in physics, we appreciate it.
Correct.
When a mind gets Nobel Prize in physics, we appreciate it. When the same mind saves a woman from the accident, we appreciate it.
Correct.
But when a mind wants to mourn a loss of something or someone, we go against it. Now we try to control it, we get into name calling that mind. Why not let that mind suffer and pass through the fire and come out whatever it's going to come out at the end?
Well said, well said. So my simple answer is, first of all, his question is, there is much talk about mind control. So don't cry, don't mourn, maintain balance, etc. is said when somebody is in the throes of or in the grip of sorrow. When somebody is appreciating, celebrating, nobody says, don't celebrate, keep balance. India wins against England and you are dancing, let us say. Nobody comes and says, control your mind. It's not good for you to dance like that. Whereas if you are in sorrowful times, they say control. So really speaking, in higher spirituality, one is not asked to control or suppress. One is only asked to understand and go through it, as you rightly said. It is this popular and misconceived set of values where there is so much of discrepancy and irregularity. So what you have suggested through the question is valid. If somebody is mourning, the higher spirituality actually says, yes, we understand, take your time. And we facilitate that person to cry. If cry for 10 days, for 10 years, go ahead. We facilitate understanding, not control, enough, 1 year has passed, don't cry from tomorrow. That kind of with a whip in hand, that is not mature spirituality at all. So whether it is joy or sorrow, one has to be helped to come out of those psychological movements through understanding, through sensing the hidden layers. All right, let us pause here and over to Mohan, MC.
So we will now conclude the session. Before we conclude, I request Sudhirji to give a word of thanks. I would like to make one or two announcements. Which Swamiji will be here normally for the next 5 days. Tomorrow evening, Swamiji is having the third talk on Ramana Gita at the Vidhubai College Hall, first floor hall of Vidhubai College. Very next to Baidas Hall. That is from the evening from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. That is tomorrow evening. Then on 8 and 9, there are 2 days talks at Mysore Association Hall. It's at Baudaji Road, Matuga East, Matuga Central East. There are 2 talks. On 8, the topic is detached engagement, advice on daily life. And on 9, integrated intelligence, unraveling Buddhi Yoga. These are the 2 topics on 8 and 9 at Mysore Association Hall, Matuga Central East, Baudaji Road. And on 11, there will be a talk at Mulund. It is at the Satyajnana Vidyapita Hall at Mulund West. You are all welcome to attend. You can make yourself convenient to reach these places. It's in the evening, 6:30 to 8 p.m. On 10th also there is one. On 10th, 8th, 9th at Mysore Association Hall, and on 10th at Shivaji Park there is one Veer Savarkar Hall, just next to Mayor Hall. So there the Krishnamurti Foundation has organized talk by Swamiji. You are welcome for that also. So now I request Gurji to give over.
Hari Om. Friends, I have a pleasure and duty of giving a lot of thanks to all of you for having spared your Sunday morning to come here. I'm sure all of you like to take Sunday morning and relax.
Only wants you to.
But it's been a very good experience and exposure. Swamiji generally doesn't come to South Bombay. It's generally like monopolized in the suburbs. So I think in 1 month it's been twice he's here, and we are happy to see a lot of new people, new audience. We've taken the names down. We try to communicate these programs to them. We are of course thankful to Swamiji for having brought us all out on Sunday morning on this. And I was having a coffee with Swamiji in the morning in the restaurant downstairs. And the name of the restaurant is Food for Thought. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In particular, we'd like to thank Sumaya Center for Learning, Lifelong Learning, and Kajal has been extremely helpful to organize. Actually, it is her initiative that this program has been organized today. So we are very thankful to her. I'd like Swamiji to give her a bouquet on our behalf.
We really appreciate, Kajal, all you have done for our programs. You brought some books? उनको भी बुलाइए, शेफाली, no? Yeah. Other day we missed you, but today you are also with us, Shefali ji, and oh yeah, so many things fell down. Oh, it's okay. You don't. With lot of love and regard, a little present for you. Okay. This is a great place. Keep it up. Right. फेस्टिवल शुरू हो गया, हला घोड़ा.
As we leave, these leaflets are there with the details of the program. Please take it to
Somebody said yesterday, even as the program is going on, you will find people meaning about it. Not like that. She said 11 or so, 11:30.
So there is something that is when I saw you, you should go and like say everything that side. The exhibition there is a shop there from Ashna.
Like they said this morning, we got to go together. Then they said, 20 minutes you should come back. To the shop and they had all there inside. And look what to tell you.
Yes.
I picked up.
Oh, nice.
time पूछे 10th में
हरि ओम.
Those of you who are not filled out the form, can you accept that she is there, give you your contact numbers, email address, so that you can inform her for the program. Those of you who are not